This afternoon as part of the London Self-Publishing Show at the South Bank Centre in London, and right now I'm really excited because Danica Favourite from Publishdrive is going to explain to us aspects of what the Publishdrive package is and the offer it makes. But what's great is that I've just realised that Danica is a romance author in her own right. So Danica, please can you just talk to us about what Publishdrive is and what it does for authors?
So Publishdrive is a company that does a lot of things for authors. The main thing that we're known for is as a book aggregator and distributor. So we have a subscription model where people can pay an annual or monthly fee to subscribe to our service to have their books distributed to the largest wide audience available. And that does include all of the big names, Amazon, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, Apple, all of that. But then we have a lot of smaller regional stores that you can't get into otherwise. We do print, ebook, and audiobook. So we've got all the major formats covered, and we can get your books into all those places. We also have two other really great products. The first one, which is the new product that we've been talking about at the conference, and that is an AI metadata tool. So how that works is basically you upload your manuscript. Our tool searches your manuscript for keywords that are currently doing well in Amazon right now. So it pulls those keywords and gives you the best keywords and metadata for selling your book. The other thing that does is it helps you craft a blurb for your book, so it gives you some different options for your book blurb using those keywords and metadata that are already doing well on the Amazon charts, which I think is really important because I don't know about you, but as an author, I'm terrible at writing my blurbs.
And I just thought of a question that I hadn't envisaged before, is if we use the new AI tool, obviously we're bringing the manuscript to your software,
right?
We're subscribing and buying that package. Does that then mean we might make certain changes to what we're doing, but they're positive because of the metadata that you're giving us?
Well, I think so. It depends.
Not to the overall
right
product, but
yeah,
we're targeting
because it's not going to critique your manuscript, but it is going to say, you think your book is about treasury or something like that.
Yeah.
And it actually will go through and say, well, the keywords we're picking up on is on cash. And so suddenly, instead of having treasury as your keyword, it's going to come up with cash, and then you might think, okay, wait, it's pulling cash out of here.
That's going to change my title.
Exactly.
Possibly, certainly my strapline.
Yes, and it does give suggested titles and suggested subtitles. So that might be something to think about in terms of, do you want to change that? Do you want to do something different with it? Or like I said, maybe because these keywords are coming out, you're like, wait, that's not what I wanted my book to be about. So then you can choose, okay, do I want to decide to change some things in my book because this isn't what I want it to be about?
I might need to take out one chapter and put in a different one somewhere in there.
Right.
And of course, we're talking about non-fiction because I explained that.
Right,
in my
exactly.
series, I write about those sorts of things.
Right.
In your work as a romance author, you have so many more niches and sub-genres and tropes.
Yeah.
How would you use this in that environment?
So for me as a romance author, and I've talked to a lot of romance authors about this, is that I have a tendency to lean towards women's fiction. My books aren't strong enough romance sometimes, and so what this will do is if the keyword, if the metadata generator is looking at this saying, wow, women's fiction, I'm like, okay, I know.
But that's a broad church.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know this is leading more women's fiction. So am I okay with branding it women's fiction, or maybe I want to go add more romance to the manuscript? So that might be where I would use it as a romance writer. Or maybe it's time for me to say, okay, I'm not really as much of a romance writer as I thought. Maybe I am a women's fiction writer. And then I can start branding things as women's fiction and see how that changes my sales.
And that might also therefore impact your author website and the language you're using on that
right.
your readers.
Yeah.
The people who are coming there as potential subscribers.
Right.
To a newsletter.
Because the AI is just pulling out those commonly used terms, those ideas that maybe you think, again, we are so tunnel visioned into our books that we think we know what our book is about. And the AI is saying, no, this is what it's actually about because these are the words on your page. And I don't know about you, but sometimes those words in my head aren't what's on the page.
No, because we're so close to our own material.
Exactly.
That we forget or we miss an audience. content.
Right. And I think that's why like the blurb writing tool that it does is so powerful, because again, when we're writing our blurbs, we're putting the stuff that we think is important in the blurb. The AI tool is saying, well, these are the things that are selling that's in your book, so let's have in your description the stuff that's actually selling. And you know, personally, I would rather have my blurb be what's selling as opposed to what I think the book is about.
Yes, yeah. Because
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest things I think we make mistakes as authors.
Yeah.
Is we can miss our perceived market may not be the market that
Exactly.
might not be the audience that actually wants it.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah. So, because, you know, again, most of us are writers, not marketers, and those are two very different hats. So, that's why this tool is so powerful, because it really does look at your manuscript with the marketing eye as opposed to the attachment eye of, I wrote this book and I love it.
Brilliant. I love the idea of what you're offering, and
Yeah.
particularly the new tool. How do people learn about Publishdrive? How do we subscribe to the monthly
Okay.
package or buy the annual
Yeah,
process?
yeah. So a couple of things to just add to that. So the distribution is what's going to be the subscription for the AI metadata tool.
Yeah.
That actually right now, because we've just launched it, we're giving everybody one book for free. And I don't know by the time viewers watch it if that will still be available.
Okay.
But basically, you're given enough credits that it should be able to analyze one book.
Brilliant.
And so then they can do it, they can use it, and then if they want to do additional books or they want to rerun the book, then they would have to buy top-up credits, and that's at different levels, but it starts at $5. So
Which
it's
is
pretty
nothing if
reasonable.
you're producing 2 or 3 books a year.
Exactly.
Or a book every 6 months.
Yeah, so that's really reasonable for the AI tool. And then the last thing I do want to mention, because we do have a third product, which is a royalty splitting tool.
Okay.
So if you are writing with co-authors, or maybe you have a small publishing company and you need to split royalties and divide them out, we also have a paid subscription tool that will allow you to do that. So, you know, 3 different things depending on what your needs are, and all 3 of them are independent of each other, so you can just use one, you can use 2, or you can use all 3.
That's fabulous. And
So-
where would you like to send us to have a look and find
Yeah,
out
so
more?
just go to publishdrive.com and you can find all of that information on our website.
Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.